Bitcoin, we start with 1 hour chart. We want to see how we can look for trade. First of all, if you refer to our analysis in my last video, we mentioned whoever get the trade from this move, they should start to manage it. And even if anyone is still they keep the trade, they should take out the trade. And we mentioned that we can, when since the price was within this move, we mentioned we can look for sell, but it's a short term. I mentioned it depends on the traders. The only way is to I mentioned the only way is to look for put our entry below here. And what we want to see the breakout of 35640. Okay, because we mentioned we want the price to drop to this zone. Then if we get any reversal, we can look for buy. If anyone get the trade, but there was a this sharp move, even right now, if they still they keep the trade, they can take out in the break even. Anyway, I mentioned it's not a good trade setup, but it depends on them. The way where we have been looking for sell was within this move. Anyway, the price didn't drop, and now once see what's there next, we remove all these things. And even if this one drops some more, we can expect the drop price to drop to 35100. Now we want to see how we can look at the chart. First, we start with the daily chart. First things, if we move to daily chart, we're looking at this one as a flat. All right, that's why we mentioned maybe we can get at least one move up. Then from there, we need to see whether there is a continuation or the price can drop. This one can tend to a bigger correction. And the thing is, in the long term, we're looking for buy, but the only thing is how we can look at this. Mostly when we see this kind of the flat, this kind of the correction relative to this short move, we can expect the price give us one more drop before we get the reversal. All right, the next drop may just retest the previous low. That's why we can look for buy from now, but we should have the proper trade setup, because as long as we trade with and the price haven't broke this correction, we consider as a short-term trade. And now want to see how we can trade based on lower time frame. If we move to forward chart, right now we are within this correction, we are within this move. That means if we put our line, just these lines we put here is real indicative. That means we put here, right? And the another one is within this. All right, what do we want? We want to see the breakout. Okay, either the up move or down move. Which direction we cannot look for, we cannot confirm, but what we want to get the one more drop. The best thing is if the price give us one more drop with the breakout of this low, we can look for divergence. Then any reversal from there, it can give us a confirmation for long term. All right, again, it doesn't mean the price cannot continue from here, it can, but we're looking for the best, and that can give us a confirmation if we refer to the indicators. All right, now I want to see how we can look for trade. Since we see this correction, we are looking internally for the flat for one move up. Mostly we can get one move with the breakout of the stop. Then from there, we need to see whether there is a continuation or the price can drop. What I need to highlight here, these lines that are indicative. It doesn't mean with the breakout of this we can look for buy or not. Even the price can move, retest the top, turn to a bigger flat. How we can look at this as a 1 2 3 with the one move up, this one turn to internal and related to this for one more drop. That's why I mentioned whatever the trade we take, we consider as a short-term trade as long as the price haven't broke this correction. And mostly we need to see one more drop with the breakout of the previous low. This is the best options since we can look for divergence. Now, what's the next and how we can look for trade based on 1 hour chart? The first thing is if you put this one is quite closer. All right. The first thing is how deep this one can go. If we put our fib here, still we can expect the price to drop to 35100. Okay, that means this one can turn to a deeper. Now, what we're looking for, we're looking for this one as an internal flat for one more. This is what we're looking for. That means if we get any trade setup for buy, we can look for. And if I just change these things, just make it on forward chart. We don't want to see it here. And as well this one. All right. Now, what I'm looking to for right now, we're looking for this one as the first relative to this. How deep it can go, even we mentioned we can expect the price, this one turn to a deeper move. But as long as the price haven't break the previous low, we consider as a running flat. Okay, that means if we want to look for buy, if we get any reversal with the flag, we take it. And with the breakout of this top, which is almost 38K, we start to manage it. Because we can consider this one as a flat correction in relative to this for one move up. Then from there, we refer to the indicators. If we see the both of them showing us a divergence, mostly we can expect the price to drop before we get the next move. This is how we can look for a chart. Okay, it doesn't mean the price cannot drop from here. Even based on forward chart, we mentioned maybe this is the only one. The reason is why this one can turn to only simple flat. Maybe this is the only flat and this is the start of the down move. Because if we refer to the indicators, if we put this top and relative to the previous one, we see we have a divergence. But how about the MACD? Doesn't have. That's why we have two different information we cannot confirm. That's why we say maybe the price can continue from here. Do we want to look for sell? We cannot get really good seller setup unless this one gives us a deeper correction similar to what I draw here. That means right now we don't have any trade either for buy or sell, but mostly we're looking for buy with the breakout of the stop as a short-term trade. And this is how we can look at the chart. And right now we don't have any trade set up, and whoever get the trade from here, still if they keep the trade, they should take out the trade or move their stop loss to break even. And whoever get the trade from this one, they shouldn't be in the trade anymore. Okay, no one say what's the next? We're looking at this one. If we get any trade set up, how high it can go later. If we get a trade, I will we give I mean share the take profit. But if we get any trade with the breakout of the 38k, mostly we can look for the divergence. Then we have to start to manage it. What do you mean by start to manage? At least move our stop loss to break even. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.